Today we're having a look at this Emerson Casablanca Classic in white and brass. And this is after an almost full restoration. And you can see it's still not perfect. I don't think it's ever going to be perfect, but I found this on Facebook Marketplace. It was in another state, so I really wanted it. I was really looking forward to getting it, and I was able to convince the seller to ship it. And it's a long story what ended up happening with this fan. So I got it shipped here. Cost about $150 to ship, which is not normal. So that was the first sign that something was up. So I requested UPS because that's what I normally use to ship my fans, because a lot of times that's cheapest. But the seller didn't want to use UPS. She said exactly these words: UPS breaks my stuff, so I don't want to use them. And at that point, I knew it was going to really suck. I asked them to pack it very nice, and it was the total opposite. So basically what she ended up doing was she left the blade arms attached to the motor, threw it in a giant box half my height, and just like threw styrofoam blocks in there. It was the worst packing job I have ever experienced the whole time I've been collecting fans over the years. That is the worst packing job I've ever had. Also, in the listing picture, all the blades were still attached, and it was resting on the blades, and these fans are heavy. So right away, it got very screwed up between that and the horrible packing job. Blade arms, like I said, were extremely mangled. There were two bad light sockets. One of them went bad. I replaced it. I hung it, and then another one started flickering. So I just went around and replaced all three of them, because I know the third one was going to go out very soon. The lavalier switch was also broken. The light kit switch was also broken. It was completely ripped out. The beads were ripped out of the switch. The glass was some sort of glass that was sold at Lowe's. It looked modern, and it did not fit this fan at all. It looked like the glass that you see on a Harbor Breeze White Star. So I asked the seller to not ship it with the glass. And I'm glad I did, because I would have had a bunch of broken glass to clean up if I did ask for shipping on the glass. Down rod is a little messed up. This is because I had to use a pipe wrench to get the down rod off. It was screwed up, and I also had to re-thread the down rod. I just kind of have that canopy thrown out there. It had no mounting bracket. That mounting bracket came off my other fan like this, that's in Chesterfield Brown. And also it arrived without a canopy, so I texted the seller and I said, what is going on here? There's no canopy. And they were able to find it. They forgot to put it in a box, so no extra charge. She sent me the canopy. So thankfully, I was able to get that. I was not able to repair the lavalier switch, so I had another collector fix it for me. I shipped it to them. They ended up fixing it, and they shipped it back to me. So that names a few things. Also, the bearings were shot as well. And the lead wires were completely cut off at the top of the down rod. So I had to put all new lead wires on. I did end up putting new bearings in. Now, the lead wires are very messed up, like they were torn. There was like only like an inch of wire coming out of the down rod. So they're new. The down rod was also a ridiculous height. It was like 7 or 8 inches. and it just didn't look right. I ended up cutting the down rod and matching it with the height on my other Casablanca Classic fan. So that's pretty much that. And like I said, I did have to re-thread it because the threads were messed up, and drill a new hole in there for the pin that goes in there. And even then, I probably am still missing stuff because of the shitty packing job. The home motor housing was just completely loaded with styrofoam pieces. It was a mess. And real quick, here's a video of it running before I ended up straightening out the blade arms. So you can see how messed up that is. It's still far from perfect. And actually one of these blades are warped and one is still bent down. So it looks like this one's bent down. I believe that's the one. This is the warped one. I mean, that is warped to hell. And this one right here is bent down a little bit. So I still have a little bit of adjustment to do, but this is what I was able to do as for right now. So I added these glass shades myself. Looks like I didn't clean them that good, but they're fine. Also, to add to everything, the cherry on top was one of the flywheel screws were missing, so I was able to supply my own for that one. Here it is on low speed. Let me get this toilet paper out of the way. I think it came out pretty nice. The reverse switch amazingly works. Capacitor was also good. So the first time I ended up fixing this, I forgot to put the retaining ring on the switch housing, so it would always rotate. It would never stay, and it was real messed up. So I went to Lowe's and I was able to find I think it was a 5/8 retaining ring. So now you can see it stays. Now the whole fan is rocking, but it's hard to show when it's spinning. And of course, it's got that horrible nylon bushing design, so it makes a little bit of noise, which is normal for these. Now the motor's powerful, but it doesn't go that fast. Of all the fans I have installed in my basement, this is by far the slowest one. And one of the blades likes to vibrate for whatever reason. Oh. Yeah, I gotta dig into why it's doing that. Maybe I can add some rubber bushings in the blade arms and maybe it'll stop making that noise. But because one blade is warped and one blade is bent down a little bit, it shakes a little bit, but it's not that bad at all. It's actually quite still. And of course that nylon bushing is still making that noise. I guess it's normal for these fans to go kind of slow. Now, I had to do so much work to this fan, I'm probably forgetting some more stuff about it. Also, as a result of shipping damage, the down rod is facing up, but the motor housing is angled. So that's just one more thing. It's not too bad at all, though. As far as I can remember, also these arms on the light kit were all loose. And I added those pull chains myself. But as far as this fan goes, I believe that's all I remember at the moment of all the tons of work I did with it. So this is the last video I'll do with this fan until I eventually get these blades straightened out. But I'm going to leave it for now. But yeah, that's about all I have for this 52-inch white and brass Emerson Casablanca Classic.